Hello everyone, how is it going today? Happy Friday! We are back for some more Lego building, and we have the Friend Set Garden Restaurant, which came out very recently. I think it came out in the, just a month or two ago. And it's got a very Mediterranean feel to it, which is one of the things that I like about it. So I figured, let's build some Friend Sets. Why not? I was just there to hold it up a little bit. Alright, let me get my scissors. They're going with more of these kind of clamshell boxes. And I think, one of the reasons is because they store better. Number one, you can kind of fold them down if you want to, actually keep the box. And for storing the Lego, you know, the problem with the other ones that open on the side is that the parts can pretty easily spill out, or if you stand them up, they kind of get fat. Alright. There goes farting. And we've got more paper bags. Yes. Yes. All right. All right, so that's 5, 9, 8, 7. There's 2. There's 1. 4. 3. And 6. All right. Looks like that's all of the bags. So how is everyone doing today? There's our instruction packet. We got some 8x24 plates. And put that to the side. There's a lot more pink than your local Olive Garden? Yeah, because this is not an Olive Garden. Alright, so we got a pair of small bags, got some other large plates. Let's get those to the side as well. Another brick separator, of course. That goes into the brick separator container. I think this might have a new pink shade, but I'm not positive. That is a lot of 1x1 plates, tiles. Holy cow. So we made it through another Friday, another week. Okay, so let's dive right in. Get excited about our new packaging, and we got the new packaging. I'm excited. So we got Alia. There's her head. And there we have some sunglasses. So this continues the trend of the Friend Sets generally having very nice designs. Generally better designs. Alright, where is that? There it is. Generally better designs than the city line. Part of that is just because that tends to focus on, fire and police and stuff. You know, rescue type stuff. Alright. That is wrong. Slider. There we go. So there we go. There are the sunglasses. So you can put them on anything with the tiny hole in it, like that. Haven't seen anyone doing anything interesting with those. Of course, they don't fit on the over their eyes, but you know. You'd forgotten that book series existed? Hey, I don't even know what book series you're talking about, so there you go. Howdy, Iogra, how's it going? Alright, so we have medium azure here. Got some teal 1x1 heart tiles. Nope, nope. Let me go this way. Let's get the 1x1, 1x2 on there first. Having porridge, gruel, oatmeal, but with a lot more milk than they say to use for dinner. I tend to do that just because I find it really hard to actually get 2/3 of a cup of milk in the thing. But then again, it just usually goes to 3/4 rather than like a full cup or something. Clipsy Bricks bringing us a raid. Let me get you a shout out there. How you doing? Oh, Vampire Chronicles from Anne Rice. Okay. Yeah, I've never read them. We have just gotten started with the Garden Restaurant, one of the new Friends sets. And some nice printed tiles here. These will go really well with the tiles that were in the Spanish Garden as well. So what were you up to today, Clipsy Bricks? Let's go ahead and zoom on in on the... Oh, no, come on. Yeah, actually grab the slider. So pretty nice... nice patterns there. Definitely can do a lot of fun with that. Light blue 1x2s. Because I definitely don't have enough after I got that, one of those stadiums that we built a few months ago. Was building the Van Gogh sunflowers. Oh, nice. I do have that. That is on the agenda eventually. I do like the art line. When the modern art set, which I never got, and I think it's already out of production, when that came out, I saw a lot of people whining about it because it's like, basically, it's not for me, and LEGO should make only things for me. But I definitely saw some LEGO curious arty people dig it, so. I'm glad that the art line seems to be doing well. This Friends set was a great build. Excellent. I am glad for that. They do a really good job with the Friends sets. Well, I think this person in particular was whining about, like, European-styled buildings for the modular city line, because so many of them are, like, mid-century American. You're in the process of heavily mocking it? Nice. It could definitely make for a nice modular, I think. Alright, 1x2 half cylinders. Let's get that up there. More heart tiles. And we need the medium azure. There was some leaks about an upcoming Star Wars set that is based on like the premiere of the original Star Wars, I think. Sadly, it is not a modular, but probably modifiable. That said, I still haven't gone back to modify the Chinese restaurant into a modular. So we got a dark blue Technic 2x4 brick. They can be. It's a question of how much work you want to put in, kind of thing. There we go. There we go. Okay, then get these in here. And the teal 1x2 tiles with center stud. There we go. Alright, more Azure 2x4s. Now, I have not seen a restaurant with a pool, and this is not a not like a fish pond or a pool that you like a decorative pool. The pictures definitely make it out to be a swimming or bathing pool. Modular City totally needs a scale Galactic Senate building. Sadly, I don't think that is coming. But there is the Avengers Tower. That is a modular. I do really like that those those sets are fit the modular standard. I don't care as much about the Ninjago ones doing that because they're on the water. All right, dark blue at 1x3 plates. 1x6 tile. 2x8 plate, so that is just so that it's not sticking to that part, which is always interesting when they do. Because it's just a 2x8 plate. Alright, we get more very nice decorative tiles. Go ahead and zoom in on those in a second. Yeah, that's a really nice pattern. Could make some for some very nice tile floors. Alright, then we get inverted tiles on the back there. And more of the decorative tiles on the front. There we go, so we got a nice couch. And that goes right on there. Plates around the edges. Lots of great printed parts. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely liking these already. Alright. That will finish up most of that part there, but now we get to a tile around the edge. Oh, come back here. Alright. Aesthetically, do you think the hilt of a giant sword like Cloud's Buster's sword should be in the middle of the blade or in line with the spine like a cleaver? Aesthetically, I don't like those kinds of swords, so I don't think that they should exist. So I have no real opinion on where the hilt should be. I don't know what would be appropriate for the balance. I imagine if it's along the back edge, that would give a lot more weight to a down cut, but would probably make it a lot harder to lift back up. Aesthetically, what kind of melee armament do you like best? I like longswords. Big fan of longswords. I like spears. I like flails. And I like Dane axes. The kind of classic battle axe of the Danes and stuff. Flail's an interesting one. You wouldn't have expected it. Yeah, I don't know. Why really? I just like the idea of swinging a ball and chain at people. Not like the gigantic balls and chain like you get with Gundam, but an actual flail. And I like maces and stuff too. Especially flanged maces. I really like flanged maces. Was there historically confusion about morning stars and flails in D&D, or is it just you? There is a historical confusion between those two weapons. Oops. Also, like, what I like can also depend on the fantasy race using it. Like, I do like dwarves with axes. I don't know how much, like, historic distinction there was between those things. I mean, like, the nature of a game that has rules is that you have to codify things that were not necessarily codified in the historic period. Not sure if Baldur's Gate 1 had the wrong graphics or for the two weapons. If it did, that may be where you got the confusion from. So, like, a flail would not be mistaken. Like, you wouldn't look at a Morning Star with the single haft and the spiked head without a chain. You wouldn't call that a flail, but you could call a flail a Morning Star. So that's where that kind of confusion comes from. And it's also related to, there's a tool, I think the Aspergillium, which is also called a holy water sprinkler. Because it's on a chain and it's supposed to, like, you know, sprinkle. And I think this is where the confusion comes from. It's a long pole with a chain and a device at the end that is for sprinkling holy water. You swing it around and it just kind of, like, puts water out at a, you know, in drops. And that could be called a Morning Star. And it can be called a holy water sprinkler. So those could also be applied to the chain weapon. You're kind of running into that just for the sake of having neat classifications for your own engine building. Like, you use sidearm as a group for light one-handed weapons you can quickly wield, daggers, etc., though that can apply to any one-handed armament, I think. I've only heard it referred to for guns, firearms. But that doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't used in other contexts, like older contexts. I don't know how recent the term is. I have not looked into that. Yeah, one-handed firearm. Howdy, Vigastry, how's it going? And we have a chromed silver teapot, which I don't think I don't think has been made before. Get that right there on the table. You're falling to pieces? Well, you should probably put yourself back together. Alright, so spare parts. We've got a brown tap. Clear 1x1 cylinder tile with a top pin. Top peg. Trans orange and trans light blue 1x1 cylinder plates with hollow studs. 1x1 tiles in teal, blue, and medium azure. 1x2 half cylinder tile in medium azure. Dark blue 1x1 quarter cylinder tile. Teal 1x1 heart tile, and 2 trans purple shades. Lots of spare parts there. The term historically referred to swords, daggers, and similar. Okay, well, there you go. Very much co-opted by firearms, of course. See, I think I would, like, for skills, I would probably group things up more along the lines of, like, can you like, draw it quickly and stab, which would be daggers, maybe short swords, but it wouldn't be a long sword. A long sword is too long for that, or the, you know, arming sword. Okay. 1x4, 1x6. But that's me. I'm not, like, a big fan of, like, AD&D's broad groups in, which is an optional rule in the Complete Fighter's Handbook and Combat and Tactics, in part because I look at a lot of the weapons in those groups as not being very similar. On the other hand, I do kind of feel like a mace, a club, yeah, anything that's just a heavy bashing instrument, kind of probably should have the same proficiency. So I'm, like, always kind of waffly on some of these things. There's a lot of juggling to balance granularity without overwhelming Excel spreadsheets. Yeah. Which is why I like most tight groups in AD&D, which generally consist of 2 weapons, so you don't really get much out of the tight group, but I'd be inclined to give, like, say that fighters spend 75% less on those or something like that. Which wouldn't mean too much until you start, like, saving up. Oops. That's a goof up. Till you start saving up slots. But I also kind of think that in AD&D, there should be more slots to start with. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Like, I think if I would, if I were to make an actual AD&D 3rd edition, I would probably, like, one of the things that I would probably do is draw on the skill system of Buck Rogers. I do, in that there is a, like, there under intelligence there are there's a stat for number of languages, and if you're using proficiencies, you apply it to non-weapon proficiencies. But I allow it to apply to both languages and non-weapon proficiencies. So I'm kind of doubling up there. But it's more that, like, I look at the, at how specialized some of the proficiencies are. Like, on the one hand, you've got agriculture, which basically covers everything related to farming. And then you've got, like, direction sense, which is pretty hyper-specific. So I think, like, what I would do is I would put professional proficiencies in a separate list, and I would require everyone to start with one, or maybe not professional, but, like, background proficiencies. These are the ones that, like, this is related to how your character was brought up. You know, if you grew up on a farm, then obviously you'd have agriculture. You know, if you were child of a blacksmith, you'd have blacksmith. And I would include etiquette in there for people who were of noble birth, because they don't really have skills, but they do know etiquette. To be fair, direction sense is more useful to most players than knowing how to calf a cow. There is that. But it's also kind of like the player kind of needs to try to use it. Like if you come across anything plant-related, agriculture might be helpful, you know? If you know how to grow plants, then you might be able to look at these plants, these wild plants, and be like, yeah, something's not right. They're not growing right. I don't know these plants, but they don't look healthy, you know? Because you know what crops look like when they're not healthy. But that is up to the player and the dungeon master making use of that. So when like presented with things, I will often ask players, does anyone have a proficiency that they think might be relevant, that they might get information? And that's kind of like the opening to be like, all right, I'm going to think outside the box. I have this proficiency, and it might help me here. Well, that's one reason why I would want to use the Buck Rogers system, because it treats them like, I mean, like it has skills like the thief skills, where you get points every level that you put into them, and I think that would allow like the AD&D thing of like you have blacksmith, and if your stat is high enough, like you're just always going to succeed on a 15 or below. It feels not necessarily like how you would come into that, especially if you hadn't been working at it all your life. So you might choose to, you'd start with agriculture, but you'd choose not to put points into it as you leveled up, kind of thing. Can you use agriculture to predict the weather? No, because there's a weather sense proficiency. Like, the vast majority of the general proficiencies I'd put under, like, background proficiencies, and anyone could take extras of those, but everyone would have to take one. Go through the list and say, okay, this is what... This is a new pink. This is a new shade of pink. It is definitely hard to describe it. It's a little redder. Interesting. I don't know what the, oops, that's not the right one. I don't know what the proper term is for it. Farmers need to predict the weather well to be successful, though? Yes, and that is why someone who is just a farmer would take weather sense. But the farmer themselves may not be able to predict the weather. They may rely on a local person who is good at that. Howdy, Gath and Kalis. How's it going? So that's why they would be separate non-weapon proficiencies, and someone who wanted both could just put points into both. Like, they could choose both. No, it's not ugly pink. It's not ugly. It's just a bit redder. It's not quite as pale. Feels a little similar to old pink, but it's still a little bit pinker. I don't know. I'd have to go, yeah, salmon might be a good color. I'm sure, I don't think that's what Lego is calling it, but, that could be a good term. And if it's salmon pink, we could have Shinesman Salmon. Shinesman Salmon Pink. Now I'll wait to see if anyone else has seen Shinesman. Anyone at all. Need something chill while you pull your hair out, setting SE Play Online FF11 install? Well, hopefully you don't pull out too much hair. I don't need to shave my head, it's naturally that way. It's the scales. Alright, got more of the decorative tiles here. I wish I did. There we go. Alright, another quarter cylinder tile there, and a white 1x1 plate. I don't shave my scales now. Just wait for ectasis. There we go. Alright, now we use the dark pink, 1x1 and 1x2. Trim my horns? Heck no. You gotta let those grow out. That's how you scare people. Plus, wax and plastic doesn't work. It doesn't go together, really. Oops, there's a 1x4 here. Now along the front. Oh, I'm a dragon. We're gonna have another one of these somewhere, or did I miss where it goes? Or did I put the wrong one somewhere? Hold on. I did. There we go. And salmon pink 1x1 tiles here. Oh, yeah. No, that's fine, Mr. Wolverine. But I am detecting that no one has seen Shinesman, which is very disappointing. It is hilarious. Alright, so spare parts, although I think a lot of that comes from the dub, because I don't think the Japanese was quite as unserious. Alright, so a spare... oh, you know what? Do we have a pink one in here? Yes, we do. Okay. Alright, let me zoom in. Colors won't be perfect, but you can see the difference. This is the current bright pink, and this is the new shade. So you can see the difference there. So we have one of these extra, a 1x1 plate in white. Medium azure 1x1 quarter cylinder tile, and a bright green 1x1 plate flower. Yeah, well, it's not coral because we have the there is a a much orangier coral shade. That is called coral by LEGO. I don't think we have coral in here, though. No. There's no coral in there. And the coral shade works really well for the pink of, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's the closest LEGO does for the pink shade of Shar Aznabul's Zaku 2 and Gelgoog. So if I got a lot of that, that is like on my list of things to try to make. Alright, so we got a bunch of these brown archways. Howdy, little bunny, how's it going? Rick Diaz is more red because it's not exactly in his shades. I mean, that just became the standard colors. Oh. There we go. I mean, we might get some coral pieces out of this set. Who knows? Alright, so we got Zara. A sticker would go on one of these pieces, but I'm not going to put it on. She's got a pen, there's the torso. And there's the panel for the notebook. Pen, I assume, so she can take... Well, maybe... I'm not sure if she works here or not in this restaurant. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom in on her. So she's got a magenta dress as contrasted to dark pink there. There we go. Okay. Turn it around, and we use one of these right away. Alright, double stack of warm tan. 1x1 bricks. And a dark blue 1x4 plate. Well, I think she's supposed to work here at this restaurant. Got some macaroni. And bricks. Haven't built a Lego set in a while. Probably going to wait to get one for a Christmas present for yourself. You should get one for yourself for my birthday. Your gift to yourself in honor of me. I do have a set that someone got me for my birthday, quite a bit early, that I am going to hold until around my birthday. Possibly the Friday before. It'll depend on like what we're finishing up around that time. Alright, a stack of 5 dark pink 1x2s. Trying to remember if you actually got anything, did anything for your birthday. It's in August, yes. Right there. That's why it's coming up soon. You're kind of focused on getting this computer running and your data sorted. That's pretty understandable, Iagra. It's pretty understandable. Two weeks paid time off just to do that? Oof. Working in IT, help desk type stuff, I got pretty good at migrating data. The big thing is just like reinstalling all the applications. Right, PGW Chaos, but hear me out. Lego. Wondering if you have a faulty network adapter, it keeps flaking out on you and needs a reset? Yeah, I think the machine that I'm on right now, that I'm streaming this from, which is not what I do my other recordings and streams on, the onboard network adapter went bad, I'm pretty sure. Because I have an external... I mean, not an external, but I got an actual network adapter on a PCIe card or whatever. I don't know, when I moved this hardware from the old computer, so the old case, so I could set that up as a with new hardware. I was like, I'm not even gonna try it. I'm not even gonna bother try it. Just gonna move it. I'll just assume I need this. It's been so long. Yeah, I don't even know if I updated BIOS. I think, like, it's been so long that I don't remember. And B, I think it was just like, a lot of it was just, I don't want to deal with this. Alright, turn it around. 1x4 teal tile here, and another one of these arches. And we have 1x1x6 columns. Howdy, Roboljacks, how's it going? Nice to get another light-hued base plate. No, there's no base plates here. Just plates. Base plates are specifically the half as thick. Or the wobbly ones. And trust me, I have a lot of base plates. And Mr. Wolverine's streaking through the chat. As he does. Oh, and there is a column right here as well that I missed. Need to update your BIOS so you can install Windows 11. I mean, this machine is on Windows 10, and it's probably just going to stay on Windows 10 until I need new hardware. Just because, like, I power it on for stream time, and that's it. I don't do anything else on it, so... AD&D2E question, are there any unique Elvish weapons that are worth checking out? AD&D has very few unique weapons, like racial weapons. That's more of a later edition thing. Alright, so these are fairly new, kind of hanging leaf elements, and these are pretty cool. We get it in lime and bright green. Go ahead and zoom in on these. Nice and textured. Just ribbed for her pleasure. I mean, for support. Like, I'll describe a weapon as like an elven longsword, but that's just to indicate that it's of elven design as opposed to anything special about it. Like, I see elven longswords as being thinner than human-made ones. Kind of thing. But still the same, same stats. Yeah, an Argonian ESO character named that. That is specifically a joke from MST3K. Just in case anyone is wondering. Alright, we are doing 2 of these. You're asking because you were wondering what sort of weapons would be seen in an Elvish order of Gishes that follow Tethran Veralde or Ilastrei? Longswords. Like, statistically, they're the same, but they're, like I said, they would be, you know, a little bit thinner. Thinner blades. I don't know what a Gish is, though. Like, elves get a +1 bonus to hit with longswords, so they do like them longswords. And short swords. Alright. There we go. And there we go. Oh, a fighter mage? AKA in, Beckme, an elf. Using all this newfangled terminology. There, 1x2 curved slopes. And we got gold 1x1 round top bricks. And these are for curtains. There we go. Some nice curtains there. Curtained opening. Yeah, but they're not fighter mages, are they? I'd have to go back and look. I have not looked in, like, I have not done much with Githyanki. And I mostly know their... basically, they're anti-paladins that have the silver swords. I mean, Lord Canis, they are carnivorous, and they don't consider humans to be out of bounds, so, you know. I can understand not being a big fan of Githyanki. They are also consider humans rather tasty. This is a very, very high first floor. Good lord. 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. And 10 for this one. How would they get Nyogi fritters? If anything, they would have, I'm blanking on the Planner Nyogi subrace. Blanking on what they're called. Starts with a T. Yes, no, I understand what that was indicating. Silly later edition changes. Also, I mean, I guess it's fair play considering that Nyogi are also perfectly happy to munch on Githyanki. Considering that they their deity of torture is also the deity of cooking. So we have a clear saucer here, which we've gotten before as a headlight piece, with a clear 1x1 pyramid peak slope. And we have some more nice decorated tiles that I will zoom in on in a moment. Yeah, that deity entry was one where I had a friend who was like, that is extremely well written and I'm never reading it ever again. So very nice decorative tiles here. Here is the, it's basically a lantern. Like that dragon article on the Drow? No. It's very different because Drow are not disgusting spider creatures. Okay, I have 2 of these, and I don't think I should have 2 of these. Hold on. Make sure I didn't miss that somewhere. Nope, I did not. It just has 2 extras. Interesting. Yep. Alright, so spare parts. We got 2 1x1 cylinder plates in gold with hollow studs and a dark pink. 1 silver 1x1 cylinder plate with solid stud. And this is used as a bell to ring the ring for service. A lime green 1x1 plate, a clear pyramid peak slope, a clear saucer, a silver pen, silver with gunmetal, and a gold gold 3L bar. Drow do worship a disgusting spider creature, but it's not as disgusting as the spider creatures that Neogi worship. Oh, it's more than 1,500. I mean, it's almost 1,500 pieces, Low Bunny, so that's also very good. As always, wait until there's good gifts with purchase. That's what I do. There's some good gifts with purchase available right now. Alright, so we got a minifig here, a mini doll to make. There's her torso. There we go. And I believe this is supposed to be some cat treats. Yeah, it's a Lego Friends set. Meow Meow Bits, I think, is what it says. Kind of hard to see because it's white on very pale blue, but it's a very adorable kitty print. Here is the mini doll. And here are the 2 kitties. We got Poppy and Nugget. They do ask for it by name, that is true. He is a rather large kitty. There we go. I do prefer standard Lego cats, though. Alright, so turn it around here. Alright. Stack of 3 windows. Oh, just have to re-up your sub. Alright, looking for a beige 1x2. Alright, 4 pillars. And here we have the large flower. The large relatively new flower. Came out last year, I think. And 1x1 cylinder plates with hollow studs. This is a pretty nice way of doing, I think, like a lotus-topped pillar. I think that's what it would be. There we go. Get that right there. That one right there. That one right there. And that one there. They would not make very good pillars because they wouldn't be able to hold anything. Also, this pillar piece, it is a piece out of other parts, or a part out of other parts, which is affectionately called in the LEGO community a poop. Although it's not technically a part out of other parts, because if you stacked up 1x1 cylinder bricks, there would be ridges. So it does have a little bit of a difference. Alright, a sticker would go on here, but of course I am not putting the sticker on. There's a brown 1x4. It has a sticker of shelving, books and stuff. I'm guessing that goes right there. Yes, it does. The cone is to allow the top of the pillar to fit there. It's a window, not a door. Alright, then some dark blue 1x2 round end plates. Light blue and animal biscuit. There we go. So we got our animal feed stations. So you can bring your pet, and they can get food too at the restaurant. Not at Alice's restaurant, though. Okay, a pair of brown pillars, and these go inward a little bit. Dark blue 2x4. And new pink 1x1 tiles. Okay, trans yellow 1x2 plate, brown 2x4. This is going to be a little fountain, I think. We have the shell element. Trans light blue, a 2x2 tile with center stud, and then side studs. Now we start decorating the side studs. Huh. Well, that's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a fountain. I think it's going to be more like a basin. Does LEGO still make the klaxon piece? 2 studs, 3 ports? I'm not sure what that piece is that you mean. How is it used in a set? Saw it in a lot of space sets. Okay. Like, I'm not sure what you mean by 3 ports. Alright, then a gold spigot. Center's right in there, and it doesn't okay, so, like, the friction of the quarter cylinder tiles just keeps that in place. I never thought of trying that before. Now, that's a little bit narrower than a standard 1x1 cylinder. So it's kind of hard to see, but I will zoom in here. You can see a little bit of a ridge there. This is a little bit... So you wouldn't be able to put this in between these pieces. And I actually don't know what else is going to be that size, because I think that's a little bit... okay, no, so you could do that. You could do the base of a 1x1 cylinder. Interesting. Put an axle into any of the ports. Hold on. Do you know of a set that has that offhand? Because I can look up the old classic space stuff. Let's see. Maybe early Blacktron sets. Okay, so let me look for Blacktron. So I'm having trouble picturing the part. But of course, I have different names. Yeah. It is probably not still available. When you say axle, you don't mean a Technic axle, the cross axle. You mean like a pole? Shoot, that's not what I want. Well, a pole is, you know, this piece, whereas a cross axle is a Technic axle. It's very different in size. I should have... Do I not have, like, a 2L axle in here? No, but I mean, the pin is the same size, and you can see that this slides right into the pin, so they're very different sizes. You were thinking pole is in the antenna. Yeah, that is a pole. It's the thing that a minifig can hold. Alright, let me see. I'm looking at the inventory for one of the sets. You don't mean the 1x1 plate with kind of a rounded clip-type structure? That's one thing that I see that would fit that, possibly fit that description. You could go on Bricklink and look at some of the old classic space sets and find the part. Like it's a 1x1 brick with a 1x2 plate on top. You have to build up 2 layers to fit where the slat is. Oh, like the control thing when it kind of goes at an, like, hooks over at an angle? Let me see. See if that works. Is that what you're talking about? No angles on it, just the slat and 3 horn-like ports? I don't know offhand. Because that part that I linked is definitely not produced anymore. So we have a nice kind of multi-arch here. They using reverse constructions to get it. You've never seen that piece. Very common in classic space. It's the body of the a robot in one of the Blacktron sets. Okay. Alright, let me look at some others. Normally, I am pretty good at figuring out parts and stuff. Let's see. Nope, that doesn't have anything like that. Okay, we got more side studs here, and we get the decorative tile. Oops. My mouse cursor was in the wrong place. There's a lot of common pieces that are no longer around. Oh, you mean like the loudspeakers? Like it's a three-way loudspeaker? Because it's definitely used in town sets for loudspeakers. Yeah. No, I don't think that's made anymore. If so, it would probably be a different thing. Let's see. Bluish gray. Well, it was in a set in 2023. So, and a set in 2024. All right. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Do I have an extra one of those? Not that. It's not that. I don't think I do. We built one that had that. I do not see a spare. There was a chance that I got an extra one of them. Well, the Bricklink name is loudspeaker. I don't know what the official LEGO name is, but we built this probably 2 years ago now. Okay, that might not work. You might have to copy and paste that whole thing. It doesn't look like Twitch likes that whole thing. But that we built a while ago. It was a gift with purchase or required insider points. I can't remember. But that had a few of those. I'm not sure if it had the axle thing, receptacles, though. Yeah, so it's still in production, essentially. It might be in other sets. The unfortunate thing about Bricklink is that they recently made a change to merge similar parts, so they will not have like if they've changed the part, I don't know that they will have the different, like they won't separate out the differences. But yeah, so that's still been in production pretty recently. Yeah, that was intentionally a throwback. I think it was it was a gift with purchase, and I think it was it may have been a ideas design, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so that part has been made recently, at least in the current light gray color, which is light bluish gray. Dark bluish gray, 2022. Oh yeah, actually, hold on. There we go. Oh, I can show you off. I can show off something. Hold on. I forgot this had it. So we made this, the Apollo 11 lander. We made this probably our first year, and here it is, right there. And it does have the axle hole in it still. So yeah, this was 2019. This set came out in dark gray. Well, dark bluish gray, the current dark gray color. So yeah, that part is still available. Yeah, it's commonly referred to as either loudspeaker or like thruster or something like that. Looking at the other colors, white and yellow. White was in production pretty recently, 2019. 2020. I don't know if I have any of those. Yellow, I feel like, was probably pretty old. 2000 and 2010. Actually, not too bad. The blue one's all 80s and 90s, so I don't know that I have any of that. Well, it's a directional thruster, like a vernier thruster. So that's what it is on the RCS. Yeah, I guess. I think that's the NASA term. That's on the Apollo 11 lander that I just pulled out. Alright, 1 by 1 to 1 by 1 downward brackets on the underside. Yeah, it's for like keeping attitude. You see it on it's on the sides of the Apollo 11, like the service module for the Apollo 11 as well. Howdy, DJ Birdman. How's it going? Let's get you a shout out there. What were you up to tonight? Suffering with children's card games. Do tell. Okay, so there's no studs there. This is going to be a little loose, but this kind of locks it in there. So I was wondering exactly what this was going to be, but it's a fireplace. That's why it's orange and yellow. And then we get some yarn for the kitties to play with up on the mantle. So we are building a friend set, the garden restaurant. Yu-Gi-Oh! Stardust Accelerator, and one of the climax events is you have to win 4 duels in a row without recovering life points. And if you lose, you start over. Yeah, that sounds, it sounds annoying. I hope you had fun with it. I hope the suffering was worth it. It's rude is what it is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out well after I was already done with card games. Other than, like, classic card games. Alright, there we go. Nice topper on the decorative wall there. Made it to Duel 3, then got BS'd at the last minute. Aw, that's unfortunate. Alright, 3 arches. Hey, Bahamut, no worries. Yarn? No, not yarn. Minotaurs dislike yarn because people keep making stupid Theseus jokes every time a Minotaur gets near yarn. Yeah, but this is yarn for the kiddies to play with. Isn't that okay? Do you not want the kitties to have fun? I think Lil Bunny doesn't want the kitties to have fun. Yay, anniversary! 24 months. Thank you very much for the resubscription. Okay, and then this goes on top of the columns. And streaking. Gasp. There we go. I like how you've got the same shapes, but this one is filled in. Well, luckily these are plastic kitties. They don't have to worry about that. They can just have fun with it. Alright, and an arch there. Okay, back on the inside, we get a small fence for the fireplace. Okay, 3 more blue 1x2 round end plates. Ah, the joys of being non-mammalian, right, Bahamut? Okay, then let's just move these over here. We get some more tiling on the floor in front. So these heart tiles work because of the roundness of the 1x2 half-cylinder tiles, because these are slightly larger than 1x1 in size. Best scale color? I think you're forgetting plastic green. Okay, another decorative tile there. Now for the backing. Plastic green is only in the top 10? Well, yeah, of course it's in the top 10. It's number 1. I mean, it's just a given. Number 1 is in the top 10. It's in the top 20. It's in the top 100. Top 1,000, you know? It's just how it works. Okay, and this chair goes right there. Okay, these are the new bamboo leaves, although they're not being used as bamboo here. And the reason is they've done this is because the old 1x1 brick, the leaves coming off it are very fragile. Oddly enough, I've only ever broken one. And that was actually pretty recently. Platinum records are better than green records? No, they're not. No one has ever gotten green. No one has ever sold enough. It's just the nature of things. Okay, so we have a plant on top of the mantle. There we go. Okay. So, spare parts. We've got a brown 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. We've got a brown 1x1 tile slope, gold lattice window pane, 1x2x2. We've got a gold tap, trans yellow 1x1 tile slope, 1x1 cylinder tile in bright green, dark green 1x1 tile with round end, clear 1x1 tile, cylinder tile, and I think this is a warm tan 1x1 cylinder tile with pet print, paw print for a biscuit, and a trans orange candle, flame feather element. There we go. Alright, bag number 5. Oddly enough, the green Lego dragon would fit nicely with this set. I don't know. This is Mediterranean, and the Lego dragon is pretty Northern European. Okay, put some large plates to the side. Got another umbrella. Go ahead and move our minifigs over there. I mean, you can put anything with anything, and there's definitely a fusion thing, but I just feel like if you're talking about something that fits, then talking about things that naturally go together. There is no steel dragon. Where? In AD&D? Because there is. There's even a unique subspecies of it on Greyhawk, called the Greyhawk dragon. Okay, and he has a phone. There we go. Alright, top of the phone there. There we go. Get his hair properly centered. And zoom on in on him. That's Zach. Get him up there. All right. Okay, first thing. Get 2 inverted slopes. One there, one there. No, because his name is Z-A-C rather than Z-A-C-K. So he is not the Lego Maniac. I mean, he may be a Lego Maniac, but he is not the Lego Maniac. Of which there's multiples, anyway. What happens if a rust monster touches a steel dragon with its antenna? Nothing, because steel dragons aren't actually made out of steel. They just have steel-colored scales. Alright, 2 of these. Let me get the other parts on here first. 1x3 and 1x2 with clip. Actually, that is going inside. There are Mercury dragons, yes. They are quite flighty. Yeah, Jack, I think, was the first. Then there was Zach. Then there was Mac. I do not remember the Mac ads. I remember the Jack and Zach. I, of course, always felt that I should have starred in those commercials. Mac was into Blacktron? Maybe he was in between then. I don't know. I rarely saw those ads. It always felt like they were not advertising when I was watching. Mercury Dragons you can find in the 2E Draconomicon or the 2E Monstrous Manual. They got brought in as basically a standard dragon type. I think there's very few medals that didn't get at least a semi-official write-up in 1E and 2E. Major medal types, I should say. Alright, one of my favorite pieces, the 2x2 45-degree inverted corner slope. Alright, we make 2 more of the lanterns. There's also more than 5 chromatic dragons. Although there's only 5 true metallic dragons. There are other dragons based on metal, but they're not true metallics. There we go. Alright, now let's get the other pyramid here. And let's get the decorative tiles on here. Slide them down. There we go. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I think adamantite dragons would qualify as true metallics. I have to go back and check them out. Okay. And we get 3 L bars in. Oops. And look, it's a dreidel! Might work better on the actual... No, not really. Doesn't work quite well enough. Then we hang them in between the arches. There we go. So nice lanterns there in the archways. By 6 and oops, nope. It goes right there. How are cobalt, nickel, chromium, and tungsten ferrous? I believe that was just the author of that article deciding to give them a grouping. AKA, don't question it. I mean, if you look at them, like the actual dragons, there's not a whole lot tying them together. What did I just say, Bahamut? What did I just say? Sheesh. Some people. Tell them not to do a thing, and they just touch the stove. You sit on the stove? Oh my. That's, braver than I am. I, for one, don't want to get cooked. Part of the nature of being Bahamut. I don't know that that's very just. I mean, the Ferris Dragons never really got canonized anyway. They kind of got stuck in the pages of Dragon Magazine. Never made it out. Whereas other things like Sardior did, the Ruby Dragon, and of course, Gem Dragons in general. Gem, not Jim. Okay, there we go. Those are legs for the table. Alright, so, these are, I think, originally from Minecraft, and one of the fun things you can do about them is turn them at 45-degree angles, make interesting little designs. But they are currently using them as chair legs. Howdy, Kinshir, how's it going? And then we get the lobed half tile. It has the lobes for business. There we go. Get those nice chairs there. Although they don't look like they have a whole lot of padding on the underside, you know? Surviving is good. You should strive to survive. I would recommend it. There's now sitting in Minecraft? Well, I mean, you could sit in a boat. Just have fatter butt to make up for the chair padding? No, shadow dragons are not considered chromatic dragons. Okay, so here is a fun piece. Can anyone guess what this piece was originally used for? I'll zoom in on it. Yep. That was quite quick. Yep. It's the Tin Man's hat. It's pretty cool to make a comeback and in a different color. I think it's being used as like a a lid over the food kind of thing. Yeah, it was an oil funnel. Yeah. But it is at an angle because it is designed for going on a minifig head. But you can, at least I think. Ooh, actually, this is conical, so it'll go in, but it will not stay. There is no there's no friction there, so it cannot stay. And let's see, can you stick a flame in the top? Yes, you can. So that's cool. Lego Molotov? I mean, you just get a wine bottle for that. Just drop that table there. All right, there we go. There we go. Get that on there. 4L bar. Candlestick. And bar holder with bar. Okay, then on the umbrella, 2L bar with stop and a bar holder with clip. There we go. Nice little table with an umbrella over it. That will definitely not protect the minifigs. There we go. Okay, 2 additional columns. We got 1x1 cylinder bricks. Keeping food cool is more important than shading people, but I think they're serving the food hot. Then we have half domes, upside down half domes. Go on to the top. Double stack of 1x1 cylinder plates inside. And a 4x4, not 4x4, 2x2 tile with center stud. A 4x4 tile with center stud would be really interesting. Okay, and these go down here. They use Mega Flare for cooking? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. All right, so we got these in the mineral set. They're 1x1 by 1 and 2 plates bricks with 6 side studs. So one side is blank. That allows you to put them together and make a, like, there is a piece like this that is, well, actually it might not have studs on all the sides. I don't remember. Looks like they drew pink in from the Friends line. This is the Friends line. And this is a new shade of pink, actually. I'm pretty sure that just incinerates everything, Bahamut. Carbon. Exactly. Not if you aim it correctly. I don't think you can aim it correctly for cooking. Besides, what about things that need to simmer? What about things that need to bake at a steady, you know, like 400 degrees for a few hours? What things need simmering? Like rice dishes and stuff like that? And Gilded Tongue bringing us a raid. Let me get you a shout out there. How's it going? What were you up to tonight? Lots of pink 1x6 tiles. Streaming more Mouse PI. Getting closer to the end. Nice. I bet that's exciting. Okay, there we go. Now, I think this is going to be most of these. Maybe not most. Tomorrow, probably finishing up Final Fantasy III 3D. Nice. I liked what they did with the story. I didn't like what they did with the mechanics of that. Although I will probably play it for the channel at some point. Wonder at what point fans of Final Fantasy III were in it for the story and characters? I like, for an NES game, I think it's got a good story. The main characters, of course, have no story, no individuality. Okay. So, get that on there. Oh, these are here to keep it, because we got exactly half a brick here and half a brick between that, so these don't go in too far, kind of thing. You thought 3 lacked story? I don't think it does, myself. Alright, so we got a 1x1 cylinder plate with clip. And that is going to go right in here. I mean, it's an NES game, so it's not exactly going to be, you know, the deepest story. That is very bright yellow. That is actually what it's called. Bright light yellow, I think. Yeah, bright light yellow. Baramos? Are you thinking of Dragon Quest III? Okay, and this goes right across there. So we got a nice multi-arch there. That's pretty cool. No worries. Alright, that's there, and that is there. Pair of fences. Yeah, this is definitely aiming for Mediterranean style architecture. Okay, and a sticker would go on here for a restaurant. On that dark blue 2x6, but I'm not putting that on, of course. Looks like an onsen spa you was at in Osaka, not a restaurant. Well, it does show them, like, in the pool there, so... I think there is a spa element. I feel like 3 helped create some really good mechanics, and without it, we wouldn't have 5. That is true. Alright, so spare parts. We got bright green and dark green 1x1 tiles. Brown 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. Dark orange saucer. Black 1x1 cylinder plate with underclip. Silver fork. And gray 2L bar with stop. Alright, bag number 6. Wasn't too much of a coward to name him that. Just, you know, all heroes are named Ald. And he's the hero of the game. So, Ald. I don't make the rules. I just live by them. Gilgamesh's true name was Ald, though. I question the amount of space at this restaurant set aside for restauranting. Because, like, the entire first floor really is not set aside for restauranting at all. All right. Let's get more of our new pink. You'd want to sit inside on a day like this? It's actually down to 7. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. It's actually down to 73 outside right now. I'm shocked. Perhaps in just a couple of months or so it will be too cold. Not around here. A couple of months it'll be September, and that's one of the hottest. The humidity outside here is balls right now, though. That's true, yeah. After the rain yesterday, my front windows were completely fogged up. The rain was mid-afternoon, I feel like. And they were fogged up when I went to bed. I was like, dang. Here's our toilet paper. Because that's what we're doing. We're making a toilet. A bathroom. All this week had to run the defogger going into work and the AC going home. Okay, 1x2 tile for the water. And a blue round top window. That does not look like a comfortable toilet to sit on. Maybe it's not a sit-down toilet. Maybe it's actually one of those crouching ones, although feels like it should be more in the ground for that. Alright, 5 1x4 bricks in dark pink. A very tall, squat toilet, yeah. I do sometimes question the design choices on these LEGO sets. Sometimes. Like, I kind of feel like having a fence right there where the toilet is. I don't know. Of course, you check in when all builds a toilet. I mean, it is the most important construction in the building. If you don't know where to go, where will you go? You don't see any pipes, though? It's called selective compression. Oh, maybe we're actually going to build a wall there. All right. All right, if so, I'm excited. A sticker would go on this. This is, again, another poop. Piece out of other pieces. This also, piece out of other pieces. A sticker would go on there for a mirror. You don't always put in connecting words like of. Sheesh. Okay, this will be for the sink. At least there's a place to wash hands. It's very important. Here is our sink spigot. I miss the old classic ones, though. Alright, 1x6x6 window frame. Yeah, you don't always include prepositions. Couldn't remember the word for it. Alright, 6 1x4 1x4 bricks. And a 1x4 plate. And that goes right in there. And Lunatastic bringing us a raid. Wow, a bunch of raids today. Thank you, everyone. Let me give you a shout out. How are you doing, Luna and everyone? How go the Legos? They go well. I was worried that this was going to be exposed, this bathroom would be exposed to the outside because we had this fence here, but luckily they didn't. You haven't caught me in a while because I have been not streaming for a while. Health issues are gonna do. Health issues can do that. But I am good now. I am not completely full body covered in hives. Yay! I should be back on my normal streams now. So what were you up to today? Oh, the bees! The A2 videos have kept you company, at least? That is very fun. That is very fun. I have been enjoying LPing that. There we go. Okay, and now the 4 of these. Played more Grand Blue Relink. Nice. Very fun, very kick your butt. Not an AD&D Gilded Tongue. Luckily. I do not want to think about that. You've been sort of watching the Soul Blazer LP. Well, it's your favorite, isn't it? You haven't even touched your Grand Blue account in like 4 months. Well, there you go. You could watch some Luna and get back into it. You're gonna go get a milkshake? I want a milkshake now. I mean, I have milk and I have ice cream. I could make myself one. But that's like effort. I hope you enjoy it. You can either, you can do either FF14 or Grand Blue, not both. Oh, okay, I guess that's fair. That's fair. When you're done with FF14, then you can go back to it. I have been playing FF7 Remake again so that I can finish it for the future Rebirth and Revelation or whatever the third one's going to be. Eventual LPs. Since I originally played on console, and I'm going to get the others on PC. Brings all the kobolds to the yard, and they're like, it's yappier than yours. They do yap. Just missed the gala banner in Grand Blue. That was literally Yuri Wedding. Revelations, unless they change the name post-production. Yeah, I just can never remember. Just can never remember. Okay, so these are curtains, and I'm not sure how I feel about this because this indicates that this is a curtain that's just closed. Made it even more clear they are together. No, like, we really mean it this time. There isn't a door to the toilet either? Yeah, that's true. That is true. There's a door here. I was expecting this to be the door to the toilet, but apparently not. Apparently not. Alright, 3 arches. Well, yeah, but they make pieces to fill it in. I just hadn't noticed this one. This is my favorite door that they've made in a while because it's... I mean, it has... Excuse me, it has the window and it's textured, so it's like wood boards. You know, if they're not going to have my old classic half-door panel, half-arch panel doors anymore, which were the best, I will have to settle. I miss those doors. I mean, I still have a ton of those doors, but... And that is the important thing, but... Okay. That does look really nice with these curtains. I do really like that. Although, again, makes it kind of like this is just curtained off. And, I don't know. I feel like, I might want a little bit more privacy than that. But I'm not a minifig, so... Who knows? Maybe minifigs don't care. Alright, 5 1x2 bricks. Ald is an ultra maxi fig? No, I'm a dragon. Not a fig. Not a fig at all. I'm not even fruited cake. Alright, 2 blue 1x4 tiles. And we get a doorway here. That is on the inside. Alright, just in case it matters. Doesn't matter because they are not putting the door there. They're putting the door here. And door handles. Okay, and that goes there, opening inward. Alright, double pair of 6 stacks. That goes there. And that goes there. And 2 columns. I mean, it'll be nice to have this color to contrast all the white ones I have. God knows I have so many white ones. It is pretty crazy how many white columns I have. And we get some tiling here. The Colosseum just had candlesticks. It may have had a couple of these, but not very many. I'd have to, like, really think about it. Mainly just because they're, like, the scale it was designed at is more focused on, you know, 2 bricks being, like, roughly human height kind of thing. Alright, spare parts. We have a gold 1x1 quarter-cylinder tile. We have a teal heart tile. Medium azure 1x2 half-cylinder tile. Dark pink 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. And a dark orange 1x1 plate. And on to bag number 7. Just tell him, Bahamut, that there's now 8 weeks in August. Then you get extra markets. How many bags were there? 9. Wish it worked like that. Yay, another Tin Man hat. And a banana, yes. There's also an apple over here. Oh, and an orange slice. There we go. Alright, bag number 7. Okay, 2 2x8s. Starting there. There, 2x4. 1x6. 1x4. 1x4, meaning this is all 1x4s right here. That's why it waggles so much. 1x1. Look at that. Look at that wiggle. So much wiggle. So much wiggle room. Alright, make a table with some square box shapes on top in gray rather than a more interesting color. Get our legs in there. Okay, I'm going to see where this goes first. Okay, this is up against the wall here. And in one of them, 3 bright green 1x1 plate flowers. And in the other, cookies. So you have important food groups here. Plate flowers and cookies. Flip that around so that it's not upside down. There we go. Cookies, the meal of champions, indeed. After Doritos and Mountain Dew, of course. There we go. Can't have cookies for breakfast, but you can have Cookie Crisp, which I'm not exactly sure there's any real difference there. Okay, on the stud side, we have 2 clear goblets, which I love that these have been around for 40 years. We have an orange slice and a lime slice. And then on the other side, we have another one of these closed containers with the Tin Man hat. Difference is Cookie Crisp isn't as good as a cookie. It's kind of a given. Alright. That table goes there. And we make another table. All right, everyone, name your favorite breakfast soup again. Since we're on the subject of breakfast soup. Corn checks generally. Used to like clusters. I don't know what clusters are. Okay, 1x2 plate with clip, top clip. And we get magenta ice cream globes. Cinnamon Life. Cinnamon Life is very good. Howdy, Bahorn. How's it going? The only problem with Life and Cinnamon Life is that they go soggy, like, the second they touch the cereal. I mean, the milk. Not the cereal. Brain fart. I think these are supposed to be grapes rather than ice cream. Obviously, it's ice cream. There are none because breakfast soup is filthy propaganda lie. Alright, so Well Bunny doesn't like breakfast soup. It went extinct in the early 90s. Well, what was it then? You used to like the Rice Krispies? I like making Rice Krispie treats out of those. Alright, so we got fruit on that table. General Mills flake cereal with nut clusters. Oh, bran flakes with honey and... Oh, so it was like a knockoff honey nut clusters. Okay. Alternate brand, you know. Nut and honey. Damn it, Gilded Tongue, tell me! Thought it was the original? Maybe it was, I don't know. Clusters came before Honey Nut Clusters, which is also General ones. Oh, okay. Got it, got it. Those were very much in the category of breakfast soups that I was like, I heard about what was in it, and I was like, no, nope, nope. So nice to have the lavatory right next to the food without a door. Yeah, I know. Isn't that perfect? They really know how to design their places well. Luckily, everything is plastic, so they don't really have to worry too much about it. I mean, you may remember the mechanism in one of the Ninjago modulars that we built that actually would drop down the contents of a toilet into the water. That was fun. They know what their audience likes, apparently. Ooh. Push down at a little too much of an angle there. And 6 1x1 tiles with top clips. So my favorite breakfast soups, well, when I was a kid, my favorite was Fruit Loops. I've always liked Raisin Bran as well. But generally like post Raisin Bran. I'm like when I'd get the store brand just wasn't as good. And I've gotten organic Raisin Bran from Trader Joe's, and that is nasty. That is really bad. No. Fruit Loops and Mountain Dew are not the breakfast of champions. Mountain Dew and Doritos. That is the breakfast of champions. Get it right. But Cinnamon Life, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Most things with cinnamon, really. But these days, Apple Cinnamon Cheerios, man, those are good. Well, you disagree, Cressens, on the Breakfast of Champions? That's actually sickening. Well, I don't do it anymore. A cereal called Hidden Treasures? Can't say I ever heard of that one. Alright, so we got another lantern there. Alright, some tiles there, a 1x1 brick and 1x1 tile over here. Lots of those cereals you were talking about, you only have the vaguest clue what they might be. It's not that you don't have them over here in Europe, but a lot under a different name. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of those are name brands. I imagine you have Raisin Bran, because that's not a name brand. Never heard of them. Huh. Because that is not a, it's not a trademark name. It's just bran flakes with raisins, although the raisins are coated in sugar. I like the name brand, the post-raisin brand, better than the store brand, because it has more raisins and they have more sugar. The more raisins part is the important part. All right, so we get some round top 1x1 pieces here for the roofing. Sugar and nuts. Not in Raisin Bran. Like, I think there's some Raisin Bran Crunch that has nuts. Why not just buy a box of raisins and some sugar then? Well, you're not getting the bran. It's kind of the point. It's not an actual cereal then. I did not say Raisin Nut Bran. I do not like Raisin Nut Bran, because I don't like nuts. Do you need the bran? I mean, that's what makes it cereal. It's the part that is supposedly healthy, rather than the part that you like to just eat. I mean, I could not eat just bran flakes. That's offset by 2, offset by 2, there we go. I mean, it's like, you know, those cereals with, yeah, like Lucky Charms. You could just have the marshmallows, but then you're not actually eating cereal. Can't sugar be counted as a grain? No. Alright, then on this side, get these 2 plates. Need to have a cereal for it to be a cereal, yep. And specifically, it's the seeds, the grains. What is sugar counted as, then? It's sugar. Like, you can get sugar from a lot of sources. Some people buy bags of just the marshmallows from Lucky Charms. Well, yeah, but they're probably just then eating the marshmallows, like, by hand. Well, I used to snack on Frosted Mini-Wheats, too. They were... It was an odd thing, because they weren't great, but I couldn't stop. Sugar is the most important element, says Artie. It's pretty high up there. It's pretty high up there. I don't disagree. Meat is also the most important. So there's 2 most importance. What about dairy? Why buy dry-ass marshmallow bits? Some people like them. I don't think I've ever actually had one of the cereals with marshmallows in them. Maybe once. My parents would not get those for me. It was kind of odd because they were happy to get me Fruit Loops, which I'm not sure is actually healthier. Cheese is paramount. Cheese. I do love cheese. No, sugar is taken from the, like, cane sugar is taken from the center of, canes. Cane grass. But you can also get sugars from, corn syrup, molasses, beets, carrots. Like, there's different types of sugars. Yeah, sugar beets. I mean, it's a grass, but it's not. You're not taking it from the seeds. You're taking it from the stalk. From the stem, basically, like the grass part. Cane. Like, there's another word that goes along with it. It's not just cane, but I can't remember what it is. Well, sugar cane. Actually, that's what it is. It's sugar cane produces cane sugar. Don't question it. Sugar beets do not look like they produce sugar. Yeah. It's taken it from the stalk itself, whereas cereals are the grains, the seeds. Cane sugar is from the boiled down juice of the sugar cane. There you go. Yeah. All right, spare parts. We got a beige 1x1 plate, new pink 1x1 tile, 1x1 cylinder tiles in bright orange with a orange print, bright green with a lime print, and that is warm tan, I think. I don't think it's yeah, I'm not sure. With a cookie print. Seeds have germs. It's how they germinate. Once lived near a sugar factory, smelled like popcorn during harvest time for sugar beets. Artie wants to know if I'm interested in the Hubble set. Yes, I am interested. I don't know if I will get it, but it is definitely on the consideration list. So it'll depend on a bunch of things. Like, whether they're, like, when there's sales on, are there other sets that I want more? That kind of thing. I mean, not a rogue AI, it's literally not. They're making a Hubble Lego set, and they're not currently making a James Webb set. Although I think there was a James Webb design in LEGO Ideas that did get through to for the possibility of approval. I'll also need to buy the corrective lens set. It's pricey, but it's also pretty worth it parts-wise. I mean, it has almost 1,500 parts, and it's less than 150 bucks. 10 cents a piece is the general guideline. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in. There, this is Ollie. I mean, admittedly, like, some of that is taken up by these mini dolls, which I do not have any use for. Other than the hair. The hair is always good. But I can't use the other parts. Okay. Oh my god. Alright. So many 1x1 round top pieces. But yeah, I mean, like, the thing about Lego is that you buy the stuff that you want the most. No Rivendell roof? It's kind of similar. Kind of similar. I mean, right now my breakfast is oatmeal, which I do put raisins in. Although I was annoyed, I had to toss out about a quarter of a container of raisins because the ants got in. Yeah, it's instant oatmeal. It's pretty sugary. I get the apple cinnamon type. I'm not going to spend all the time making actual oatmeal. Alright. Trying to decide if you should be responsible or eat cookies for dinner? Well, I don't think you want my answer. I'm just going to have some ice cream when I finish up. Not for dinner, just... They don't need to be filling. They just need to be good. You can't eat cookies for dinner, but you can't have cookie, Chris. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Can't argue with that, can I? Well, right now, I would just love to not be hungry. Alright. Now we have a layer where we are basically just inverting the colors. A jar of ham? A jar of ham. A jar of ham? A jar of ham. Jar of ham? Don't question it. Too late. Too late. I've never actually had deviled ham. Spam in a can. I don't think I've ever had spam either. Spam is good, better cooked. Well, don't knock it. It has its own key. I prefer deli sliced, brown sugar or honey glazed ham. Yum. On a sandwich, of course. Or not. And then, of course, there's like capicola and prosciutto and stuff like that. Alright, next up. Dark blue. And once again, these are alternating. Not quite alternating, actually. Ald is not wealthy. Ald just is willing to spend money on food. Gabagool? I don't know that word. It is not in my vocabulary. Obviously, given my struggles to pronounce it. Ald ain't from New Jersey? That is true. Ald is not from New Jersey. Howdy, Shield of Hope. How's it going? Alright, there we go. We got our roof sections. Let's get these on here. There we go. There we go. Very nice roof there. Gabagool is capicola, but the term is from Sicilian Italian, retained in Italian-American culture. Well, it all says capicola when I get it from the store. Yeah, very nice. I do like the dark green. There's a reason why I am planning on getting the Jaguar E-Type Lego set, because it's all dark green. Alright, another bamboo leaf plant. There we go, and get that right in there. Two fences. Alright, we get another carpet area here. One by two tiles. Interestingly enough, I don't think there's any normal green in this set at all. What even is normal green? Standard Lego green. This is standard Lego green. Lego actually calls it bright green, but there's never been a non-bright green, so... Yes, Ald is normal. Ald is normal. It is everyone else who is not. And I do mean everyone. Alright, we get more of our, oops, don't want that, actually. You know what, let's actually move these pieces over there, because there aren't that many left. as we make our chairs the exact same as the other ones on the lower porch. There we go. There we go. Okay, there would be a sticker on this 2x2 tile. And I think that the probably has like the menu or something on it. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? You're right. That is normal green. I just put that on, and it slipped my mind already. You're right. That is normal green. I think I was thinking that it was bright green, but it's not. It is standard green. Okay, so here we have the rocket booster section from the Artemis. Look, they had a lot of extra parts, you know? They had to do something with it, so they painted it dark blue and sold it to various restaurants. That goes there. What do I actually do with all the finished builds? If I actually keep it, like, most of them I don't keep together. Most of them I take apart and sort out so that I can eventually build other things with them. But things that I do keep together, I put them on shelves, and usually when I get something new that I want to put on a shelf, I take apart something old. Actually, that is incorrect. You bet money that people would be willing to dine in a rocket booster? Oh, yeah. I mean, people once dined in an iguanodon, so... Cookies. Actually, that one goes there. That goes there. So I'm not sure what we are putting on the underside here. These yellow ones, I don't know if they are supposed to be lemons or some other fruit. But this might be like a small lemon tree. There we go. That's there. That is there. No, I don't think they're grenades. Yeah, so lemons, then. There we go. Okay. So, spare parts, clear 1x1 cylinder tile, dark brown lightsaber hilt, brown 2L bar with stop, yellow dome light with pin, with peg, and a bright green 3-leaf plant. Okay, and then the final bag. Oh yeah, there are trees. I forgot about the trees. Completely forgot about the trees. No, I'm just finishing one. It's just the garden restaurant. Why did you think 2? Alright, there we go. So we got the kitty Perry. So we got 3 different kitties with 3 different shapes. What happened to the Artemis space launch? I went long on Wednesday and finished it. Very long, actually. It was pretty late when I finished that. But that is all done. I should actually take a picture and post it on the Discord. Poor kitty had to wait so long to get out of the bag. Yeah, but kitties like bags. It was a pretty good set, although the overwhelming majority of the Artemis set is the gantry. The overwhelming majority is the gantry. It is kind of funny that way. The VOD will go up tomorrow. Alright, there we go. Oh, I need to turn that. There we go. Nice little shaded dining area on the roof. Don't fall on the floor. Come back here. Alright, get some bricks here. Some nice little lounges. Looks like a pergola. I don't know what a pergola is. Okay, so this goes right there, and this goes right there. Some comfortable lounge chairs for sitting by the pool. Oh, the framework I just finished? I had no idea that had a name. Been playing CK2 and funny stuff happened. I mean, that's usually what happens in CK2, but feel free to elaborate. Alright, so we get all of our bamboo. So basically with this bamboo, you'd stick 1x1 cylinders on the top and bottom, and then just have these coming out at various angles. Okay, let's get some garden plants. There's one. They are obviously not bamboo here. You have a Shia Egyptian character, and the character's liege, who is Frankish Catholic, decided to have your character be the guardian of his heir. No, I mean, they will ask people who, like, if they really are worried about your opinion, worried about you rebelling, they will do that kind of thing. As well as, like, you know, other forms of things to try to butter you up, because that normally will make you more inclined to like them, if it was all NPCs. Oh, they got Japan in CK3? Never did that for CK2. Rude. Alright, so we got 4 plants here. Oops. Oh, popped out of the bin. There you go. Get that at an angle there. And this needs to be at an angle as well. There we go. Some nice greenery around the pool. Get some more of these hanging leaves. No, right, but what I mean, Bahamut, is that if your character were an NPC, it would improve your opinion of the liege. So that's why they did that. They would be less likely to rebel. So they were hoping that you, as a player, I mean, they don't know the difference. We're hoping that you, as a player, would be less likely to rebel. Alright, 4 of these. I need 3 2L axles. And then 3L. And that goes on this side. Okay, 2 of these. So 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay, and then another red one there. Tense riveting tree building action. We're not riveting these trees. Sheesh. Understand how trees are created, sir. There we go. And then 2 blue friction half pin, friction axle pins. There we go. Okay, dark gray, double pins with axles, and double pins with bushings, all friction. Hey, at least they're not big ugly sacks of mostly water. Elephants? Well, yes. I have no idea what woozles are actually made of. I would assume they're carbon water sacks as well. But I don't know. Alright, DJ Birdman, thank you very much for the raid, and have a good rest of your night. We will be finishing this setup very soon. I think it is just these trees left. It's been a very long time since I was read the Winnie the Pooh books too. It was something my father did to me when I was very young. Very, very young. Kind of look like mouths. Okay, so lots and lots and lots of leaves like this. I mean, assuming a woozle is a biological terrestrial creature, Earth creature, then yeah, it would be a carbon water sack. An ugly bag of mostly water. Just carrying some of the ocean around. Yeah, I think in the human body it is mostly saline. Not a very high salt content, though, all things considered. Saline takes you away? Should probably get that looked at. I don't know. So we do have bright green leaves, and we do have regular green for these two parts. It's a yacht rock song by Christopher Cross. Ah, okay. I probably have heard it. Oh, is that the Pina Colada song? I don't know. I don't know Christopher Cross music very well. No, okay. I am not an expert. There's one that I like, and I can never remember what it's called. It's one of his more popular ones, though. All right. There's that tree. You just felt like saying the Pina Colada line. That's fair. That is fair. I mean, when you run like the wind, yeah, that's it. I can never remember what it's called, so I will probably forget that right after the stream is done. Or is it Ride Like the Wind? It's Ride Like the Wind, isn't it? I don't know. Whatever. All right. I like how these trees look. So that one is right there. And this one is right here. Okay, and that is all done. All right, spare parts. We've got a brown 6L bar with stop, a bright green 3L bar, 3L axle in yellow, a bright green 1x1 quarter cylinder tile, and a dark gray friction half pin. There's some loose pieces in there that I don't want falling out, so I'm trying to be careful about tilting it back. But this is it's a really nice building, and a ton of this new pink shade. So lots of good pieces, lots of dark pink as well. One of my favorite doors here. Always nice to get more of those. These new plant pieces are very nice. Really, really like these decorated tiles. Those are great. Those are fantastic. Here's what it looks like from that angle. I like this stepped arch. It's pretty nicely done. Here's the inside. Food preparation area or buffet. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Bathroom, of course. Got outdoor dining. Comfortable chair by the fire. I think this is supposed to be like a kiddie bed. Well, I think that's supposed to be like a kiddie bed there. Just needs a Barbie car or two. Yeah, the cars are one of the few things that don't really work with minifigs very well. Why not both buffet and food prep section? Because then the customers would be getting in the way of the workers. No toilets for the cats, no. No litter boxes. All right, so that is going to be pushed back, and I am going to also... They all get to go swimming! Look at it! Look, they're all swimming! Yay! With their phones! Alright, push that back, and it is time for some minifigs. There we go. Alright. Rip phones. That's okay, the cat's already peed on them. Having no bathrooms to go to use. Alright, 4, so we're going down the middle. 20, 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Very last one. All right. I was not sure if there were still 15, but I thought there might be. Okay. I have to reach down for that one, unfortunately. All right. Let's go ahead and start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Let's go ahead and roll my die. 19, I need to re-roll. 1, all right, the Olympic swimmer. Let me get my timer ready. There we go. All right, 14 for Nadarogai, that would be the Boar Knight. 7 for Bahamut, that would be Evel Knievel. 16 for Vigastry, that would be the adorable Red Riding Hood. Shield of Hope, 6. That would be the Bagpiper. Ready to play Amazing Grace for Spock. All right, Composter, thank you very much for coming on out. Have a good rest of your night. Guessing begins with a Minotaur Most Stylish Restaurant Competition judge. A Leonin Pool Management Tech dude. Is he also part of a dude ranch? I mean, yes, he is a very boring Boar Knight. He only has himself to blame. I mean, he's so boring, he gets angry over it. That's why his eyes are red. Alright, get your predictions in. 30 seconds remaining. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? So if I'd been there, if I'd seen it, I bet... You bet I'd do just the same? I don't know. Alright, predictions are almost closed. Get your predictions in, and you too might be able to win big. And predictions are closed. Alright, and go. That is the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. Is that what I think it is? Yes. All right, 14.36. I believe we have Evel Knievel, and I need to stop the other thing. I hit the other thing. So 14.36. Evel Knievel. You thought we had it in one set? Yeah, no, I hit the I hit my timer for recording LP episodes. All right, it is Evel Knievel, guy. So let's go ahead and mark that. And choose the outcome. So that was within 20 seconds. Complete the prediction. All right, Bahamut and Vigastry getting all the hams. Very nice. Lord Canis and Kinshi are going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Lel Bunny going for no. Is he lawful neutral or chaotic evil? He's Evel Knievel. That's his line. So he does have two faces. We'll give him the scared face and give him the helmet. He may have miscalculated his run. Look at that face. He may have miscalculated. Oh no. I like the The white cape. Do you have to start blaring music from the musical Chicago? There's a musical for Chicago? There's a musical Chicago? I don't know. I don't know musicals. All right. So next up, Series 10. Get back. Screams and gay. I'm sorry. I'm not. 3. So we're in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so D10. 3. All right. Start prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? I mean, I don't hate musicals, it's just not for me. I don't know much about them. Alright, let's roll our d20. That is 6. So that is the Skydiver. Let's see, 2 for Nadarogai. That would be the Medusa. I do want to note, this is not a Medusa bag. 9 for Bahamut, that would be the Paintballer. 4 for Vigistry, that would be the Amazon Warrior, which we got last time, and I think we may have gotten the... No, we got Red Riding Hood a little while ago. We got the Nerd last time on Wednesday. All right, a Leonin Dancer of ballet kind. Guess 2. I like ballet music. I don't care about the dance. Guess 2 is a Minotaur drinking straw maker. We can get her again. That's true. We can. We have the technology. Until we run out. All right, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? An elf wine steward. Wouldn't that just be a sommelier? All right, just a few seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Even if you run out, nothing is guaranteed. Well, kind of is. If I run out, then I've run out and I can't get her again. That is kind of guaranteed. All right, predictions are closed. And go. All right, let's see what we got. What do we got? Oh, is that what I think it is? That is what I think it is. All right. 8.66. We have our sad clown. I love how there's a meme that amuses me, where it's like, what is your favorite of these, of the 4 French clown types? And it lists the 4 French types, and it's like, results, 100% USA, 100%, what the heck are these? Or something like that. It amuses me because of this, really. Probably wouldn't amuse me as much if not for this guy. But that is correct. 8.66. Let's choose the outcome within 20 seconds. Zoom on in on him. All right. Who gets the hams? Bahamut and Vigistry once again getting all the hams. Lord Canis and Kinshir going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60, and Lel Bunny going for no. No back printing. I do like the black neck ruff here, which we got white in the Shakespeare. I'm surprised that they haven't made this as like a dunce cap yet. All nose, no clown lore. It's true. It's true. It's almost as if clowns aren't my thing. That is our third of that clown. I'm gonna have a whole troop. I don't know if that's how it works, though. It's like I don't know clown lore. All right. And the final minifig for the night. Let's go ahead and get our scale out. 4, so that'll be that side. D10. 8. So that'll be that one. Let's just slide that in there. There we go. All right, let's start our prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Get your predictions in. I will get my die ready. Get my scanner ready. There we go. All right, so schedules a visit from the space clown Spelljammer called Bozo's Frenzy. Haha, Lord Canis, it doesn't exist in Spelljammer. There are no space clowns. All right, 1 for Bahamut, that would be the peacock. 2 for Vigistry, that would be the cute kitten. 7 for Nadarogai, that would be the Dalmatian. The only one that we have gotten all of is the koala right now. A Sad Leonin clown, and a Minotaur heating element mechanism for ovens installer. I feel like the word order on that should be changed a little bit. All right, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig box? Will I get it with a guess? Will I get it with the die? Or will I get it with the weight? Speaking of, let's go ahead and get on to the weights. No killer clowns of the phlogiston. Nope. And Shield of Hope going for 5. That would be the frog. Oddly, like, it's kind of interesting. I don't have a problem with the Guyver reference in Spelljammer, but killer clowns from outer space? No. Alien, the Thing, in Spelljammer? That's fine. Doesn't bother me. Killer clowns from outer space? Mm-hmm. Bothers me. That's fine, little bunny. I'm just teasing. See, I get Aura Battlers in Spelljammer? Fine. All right, predictions are closed. Okay, let's go ahead and shake it first. All right. I think... I think it's the cat. So that is going to be my guess. Number 2, the cat. The die says 12, the parrot, which is almost certainly incorrect. Now let's weigh it. No, not Phantom Warriors, Spirit Warriors. 1709. That is closest to the rabbit, kind of. The monkey is there. Could be the cat. But I'm going to say it's the rabbit. I'm going to say, oh, it actually could be the Dalmatian. But I'm going to say it's the rabbit. All right, so that is the guess from the weight, because it is not very close. This box is weighs different. Hey, it is the cat. All right. Yeah. All right. I love getting the guess correct. Oh man. See, I was hearing what sounded like something rolling around that was a little bit heavier than the head. Damn, I'm good. Damn, I'm good. All right, let's choose the outcome. That is yes with guess. Complete that prediction. All right. Bahamut and Kinshir getting all the hands. Shield of Hope going for yes with die roll. Lord Canis and Vigistry going for yes with weight. And Lel Bunny going for no. Nice. I don't know. My win rate is pretty decent on these boxes right now. Partly it's because, like, this box of minifigs is definitely weighs different than the other box that I used for my guide, that I took averages from, which makes me think that they came from, like, different production batches. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom on in. There we go. We have our kitty. She has a cute little collar with a heart. This is the same tail that the raccoon and the fox had. She's got a sleepy face. And definitely a face of plotting. I love the faces that these minifigs have. They're really good. All right, have a good rest of your night, Bahamut. Let's go ahead and mark that off. And that is going to wrap us up for tonight. Let's go ahead and see if... Okay. All right, I think we'll just call it a stream here. I want to thank you guys for coming on out. Two cats personified right there. Yeah, this is a very adorable minifig, I feel. But we are going to wrap things up now. We will be back tomorrow for some more Spelljammer, although I did hear from one of my players that there might be something that comes up, and so there's... I'd say a small chance that we may have to postpone the session, but we'll see. We will be back on Saturday for, we'll be back on Monday for some more Dragon Quest VII, and we'll be back on Wednesday and Friday next week for more Lego building. We will be starting something larger, so it won't be a one-stream build. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out, and I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.